Overland Park City Council sided with residents instead of a developer early this morning. We mean early.
Yeah, about 1 o'clock this morning, the council voted against plans to build apartments at Deer Creek Golf Course. KSHP 41 News reporter Charlie Keegan here live for us this morning to put some perspective on this vote. Charlie, you were not at the council meeting until 1 a.m., but you are at the spot they were talking about this morning. Surprise, you think, is what's happening in Overland Park this morning? You think this is going to shock some people?
I think it will, yes, definitely. I think that the city staff here in Overland Park recommended approving this. The city's planning commission recommended approving this, and then to have it denied is a surprise for a lot of folks in this area. It's ultimately the city council's decision, though, and it voted no early this morning. I want to show you what these apartments would have looked like for you this morning. This is the area near 133rd and Metcalf along the Deer Creek Golf Course. The question before the city council last night was to rezone that area to allow for those apartments. The city denied the rezoning, essentially killing the apartments. Now, the developers of that apartment had asked the city for several exemptions, I guess, to help the project fit the city standards. And as city council members really gave the impression that they're kind of tired of giving developers those exemptions or variances.
If that's what they're now coming to us writing it down that, well, they got one and they got one and they got one, so we should have one.
It's the trust of the people in their government to keep their quality of life, their investment in health. That's the umbrella reason that I have for this.
So yeah, the city council members thought keeping the quality of life for the single-family neighborhood just behind the clubhouse here behind me was important to deny the rezoning here. And I want to point out that 3 of the 4 new city council members who were just elected in November voted against this project. So developers may have a steeper hill to climb here in Overland Park with those new council members.
That's interesting.
Charlie, you've been following this story for a long time. You've been talking to all sides involved. And apart from any of this, the golf course and the creek have their own issues, right? What's next for Deer Creek in that area?
Yeah, I have reached out to the developers early this morning. Of course, early keyword, haven't heard back from them quite yet, but we know that there are issues with flooding and erosion along Tomahawk Creek, which cuts through the Deer Creek golf course here behind me. And so those issues still need to be resolved, and I'm sure something along fixing those lines will come back before the city council in some way, shape, or form in the not too distant future.
Yeah, because so much of the pitch for this from the developer was to save that golf course. That was what the kind of slogan was, and then fix the creek. And so now different options will have to be considered. Charlie Keegan live for us this morning in OP. Charlie, thank you.